So Donald Trump catches COVID. This is we're a couple of days removed from that. Obviously now, the world would have obviously known that Donald Trump has COVID. Karma's a bitch, right? So if we go back to like Donald Trump quotes, and everybody can do that, it's a hoax. It's not real. Things of that nature. Obviously, I saw a post the other day where they had put his comments next to him as a picture, and it said, tell all this stuff to the 210,000 people who've died. I thought it was disrespectful, all the things he was saying, and these people were dying. Further to the fact that debate, that wasn't really a debate. It was just one guy talking over an old man. America's fucked. It don't matter who's president. America's fucked.
They're both old men, though.
Yeah, no, but I mean, one is a child. Like, let's just be fair. Like, one's a fucking child. One's an orange child. He belongs on Teletubbies. But the other one is actually probably a dignified guy, but he's not without his troubles as well. The things that, he's been in government for so long, and the things that he helped pass has also been problems towards the black community. So with Donald Trump catching COVID now, I think it's come out that his cabinet, some of his cabinet members are also catching COVID now.
Yeah, like 20 of them.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's taking off his mask and breathing on them. It's kind of crazy. It's funny to me, not COVID, but it's funny to me that, this whole situation is happening and he's acting as if though, but I'm good though. Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't be afraid of catching the virus. I've fought it off. And my thing is, I don't know. I mean, this sounds ignorant, but then some people are saying, maybe he doesn't even have COVID. Maybe the people around him are being told to say they have COVID. So then that could be like a campaign thing.
I've heard that. I don't know who knows if that's true.
Yeah.
No one really knows if that's true. I do think that he did get some form of COVID and it wasn't that serious. Do you know what I mean? You can get it in all forms, so it depends on how your body sort of reacts to. I
mean, I saw a video of him like breathing quite heavily.
Yeah, but I think that's just like the jet, like if you get it quite mild, then you will have like breathing difficulty.
What I thought you were gonna say versus what you said were two different. I thought you were about to say. I was gonna say that's the cholesterol.
That's the McDonald's.
That's that McDonald's, bro. I can't even say that. Shouts out to Travis Scott with the McDonald's meal in America. But still, it was kind of crazy. So yeah, no, it's just, I mean, like, and the thing is, I also want to put out there is, people who are on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, and I've seen the comments, let him die or whatever. And I'm like, listen, man, as much as he's an asshole, we shouldn't be wishing death on anybody, man. Like he's an asshole. He's done numerous amounts of things. He's shoveled shit. He's made these people who obviously support him think that they can treat other people of different ethnic backgrounds any kind of way. But wishing death on somebody is just something I'm not going to condone. Karma will handle that, and you don't need to worry about or concern yourself with, his health issues. Let that be what it is. I don't think it's good to wish death on people or say anything against somebody in that nature. You might not like someone, but that don't mean you have to condemn them in terms of, their mortality.
Yeah. Did you see I watched the whole debate just because I like to watch stuff and watch it for myself rather than
listen to the sound bites. Yeah.
Yeah, because anyone could edit a video and make it sound like.
No, I watched the whole thing like start to finish.
But it was pretty one-sided. There was one point where the host guy was just like, "We need to stop this interruptions," and Donald Trump was like, tell him to. And the host guy was like, no, I'm talking about you.
I think that the country would be better served if we allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting than he has.
That's all right, but he does plenty.
Well, less than, sir, less than
plenty.
No, less than you have. Let's please continue on. The issue of race. Vice President.
Like you're doing it most. Like
exactly. Yeah. No, but he's doing it about the same. I'm like, what? I was like, bro, what are you talking about? It was, you know what? Like I said, America's fucked, regardless of whoever becomes president. Because it's either old men who You know what he kept doing? What kept annoying me? Every time he tried to make a point, he looked at the camera. Was like, "You Americans," and I was like, "See, this is not good. Like, this is not."
Stop that. Everyone knows that tactic now. This is not.
Yeah.
It's not the 1960s, 1970s where people did. Well, it's like when they first started having TV.
You know what I mean?
Like, oh, this TV stuff's new. They didn't have debates back then. But do you know what I mean? Like campaigns.
Yeah.
And they used to look into the camera and say, "You."
$3.5 million.
He doesn't, that's not true. It doesn't want to talk about what you need, you, the American people. It's about you. That's what we're talking about
you
here.
should
All right, that's
Not
the,
about
end of
here.
that's the end of the segment.
Like,
You Americans.
we all know that that's a tactic now. So just stop it. Just act normal.
And he kept doing it like this and the hand gestures. And I was just like saying to myself, like, nothing got answered for the most part that I remember. No, nothing got answered. I can't say I was satisfied with anyone's answer.
Nah,
Because it seems though as soon as someone went to answer, more so on the Trump side, he just interrupt because he knew Trump is literally this and he's a master of deception. You guys have to remember this. Everybody watches this video. Click the link, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Anybody who sees this and watches that debate over and watches the debates to come in the future, I'm sure there might be one or two more. You have to watch the characteristics of a guy who knows how to muddy the water.
Mhm.
And Trump is a master tactician at muddying the water. Like, the moment that Biden got to a point, and I'm not pro-Biden, I'm just saying from what I watched, the moment Biden got to prove a point or ready to prove a point, Trump would talk about something to like knock his credibility instead of like maybe attacking the point he was trying to make. And you guys have to watch out for master tacticians when it comes to muddying the water. And muddying the water means literally putting things in the way of things that have nothing to do with the conversation. So he's talking about his son getting money, I think from China or something like that. And, you know, him being in the military and him being in government for so long and not doing anything for black people. You know, the questions that were asked had nothing to do with what he was throwing at Biden. And I fear for the fact that a lot of people will see that and say, yeah, he won because he shouted louder than he did.
I think that's just a general thing though now. Like,
Yeah.
within society, the people that shout the loudest get their voices heard the most. Like,
Yeah.
it goes into like the same thing as like viral videos. So me and you could be doing the exact same conversation.
Yeah.
We're doing it in a quite calm, like civilized manner. We'd be saying the exact same things, but just shouting.
Exactly.
And if we're shouting and being angry, then that's going to get like
More
played
views.
over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's just like what sort of Trump's about. I also find it funny that he's like, I think it's good what you said about the muddy in the waters, because he does do that. Like he'll get asked a question and then you'll say 100 different things. That's just not related to that question. But because like he's now like cussed your mom, like
Yeah, like it's like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, but you didn't eat breakfast this morning. What? Like what the fuck? Like what are you talking about? Oh my god, like it's so. And the thing is, you know, it's not funny because this is people's lives that they're playing with ultimately. But if you don't laugh, you cry. I always say that when situations just dire. If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. And Donald Trump and Biden and any other politician. Personally, I'm just of the notion that they're all crooked. But I just don't understand. I thought about solutions, like maybe putting one guy in like a soundproof room while the other guy answers questions.
That's what I was thinking, you know. Like, that is actually the best way. Like you've got 2 minutes, and your 2 minutes is quite simple because the guy was like, "Oh, you've got 2 minutes to talk," and then the next person can like come back with their counter argument. Why don't you just put them in 2 separate rooms? And on the same point of like this whole COVID thing, and now that he's got COVID, and potentially there's gonna be another debate, and Biden's like, "Oh, I'm not going to do the other debate if he has COVID," which is fair enough, obviously. Why don't you just do it like remotely? Like, why do they need to do it like?
Bro, you know it's hard enough to control these men in the same room. Imagine Donald Trump on Zoom.
Mute him.
No, it's true. It's true. If they mute him, it works. This is the thing. And I'm not saying mute him so he doesn't get his point across. I'm not going to just dance on the Democratic side. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when he's speaking, mute him. And when he's speaking, mute him. Yeah. That way, American people and people outside of America who aren't American but obviously going to have opinions can have a clear view to what's being said. Right now, all it sounds like I said is some fat orange yellow Teletubby telling some old man that his son's a crook. It's like that's the only thing I really took from it. And two people who obviously can't come to any. I think although it's a debate, if your intentions are what's best for America, you should agree on some things.
Yeah, and that's what I never understand about like when people say, "Oh, I'm pro-Republican, I'm pro-Democrat, or I'm pro-conservative, I'm pro-Labor."
Yeah.
But there should be some views that you should like from both sides, and you should be like, "Yeah, we agree with that. Like, I agree with you on that." Do you know what I mean?
But you know what it is?
Everything.
It's power. It's power. Corrupt soul. And the reason why I say that is because we should all be on the side of human life, right?
Yeah.
We should all stand, like, going back to our Breonna Taylor video, check it out. We should be on the side of life. So it would take color out of it, just humanity, right? We all know that the way that was done was wrong. So we should all agree on that, right? You got this man talking about, yo, you can condemn white supremacists and things of that nature, and he's saying, oh, well, I'm gonna tell them to, steadfast and stand by.
Yeah. What do you say?
And it's like, huh?
The Proud Boys.
You know what I'm saying? The Proud Boys. Whatever the fuck. Let me stop. See, because I was about to start threatening people. It kills me. It's just like, you see what's going on in the country. We can all agree on violence and looting and things and all that type of stuff is wrong, right? But we can't agree on why the situation is happening is wrong also.
Mm-hmm.
That's what boggles me. And let me also highlight that Biden also did not say anything to the effect of what's going on with black people in terms of the police. And, it's all about COVID. And I know that that's the thing that's attacking us right now, but neither one of them mentioned police reform. No. As a matter of fact, if I'm correct, Biden said, I'm not with defunding the police.
Do you support the Black Lives Matter call for community control of policing?
Look, what I support is the police having the opportunity to deal with the problems they face. And I'm totally opposed to defunding the police officers. As a matter of fact, local police, the only one defunding in his budget calls for a $400 million cut in local law enforcement assistance.
He says something to the tone of learning or something like that. But I'm like, no, but that's not enough. Like, I need to hear that the cops that did what they have done so far are going to get prosecuted. And then we're going to weed out the bad apples. Don't let these guys get away and then weed out the bad apples.
Yeah, but that's just like another thing where like he might believe that or he might not believe that. But he knows that if he says that,
who's going to vote for him?
He's not going to become president. It's just that straightforward.
And to end this, I'm going to ask you this. Knowing that these two men are obviously neither one of them are fit. One looks like, God forbid, but one looks like he's going to have a heart attack. The one has COVID. Neither one look like they're fit to run the country. But where do you stand on having a black political party? A political party set up to do exactly what these other political parties do, but more so speak for our agendas. Because they're both white people, so they're speaking for their own agenda.
The only problem that I do have with that is that would the voices be heard less? Because then they'll be like, well, cool. Assuming the majority of black people are going to vote for these people over here, this new party that we've created, or that they've created, and we don't need to worry about the black vote anymore. Not that they worry about us black people anyway.
They don't worry about it anyway.
But from time to time, they might throw in something about black people. Whereas now, if you create another party, that party is going to be so small compared to the rest of America. It's never going to get into power. So it's just going to voice its opinion, but is it actually going to make any difference? I don't know. You probably be in the exact same place.
I think we'd still stay in the same place.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's the right people, which we can never be sure, because once you enter the chambers of any politicians or political buildings, it's almost like you go over a complete change of who you are and your morals. So I don't know if putting it together would be a good idea if it was the right people and our voices were being heard. And it's not necessarily saying that we're going to put a black candidate in the White House every single year. I feel like it just needs to be there to push the agenda of what's happening to our people in the streets.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can have guys who are going to want to be president or women who want to be president from that party, but it would have the same standing as Democratic or Republican.
Yeah,
They have
against
just
it.
as much
I just
chance.
don't know, obviously, because it hasn't really happened
Yeah,
in a big context. I'm sure
Yeah.
there has been, and I probably need to actually research this myself. I'm sure there has been like black political parties.
yeah.
Well, they probably weren't as big as what you're sort of talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about actually having a real foot in Congress.
Yeah.
Me and you can make a black political party.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mentioning, like, for instance, the Black Panthers, things of that nature. We could right now say, okay, we're gonna make the black political party, but never get into the chambers of Congress or the Parliament in England. So I guess it wouldn't count for me. But as usual, it's Bird Lines. Like, comment, subscribe, share, engage, man. Like that's really the biggest thing. We keep these conversations going. And if you don't like it, tough luck.